Video lecture by N. Markandeya, Contract Lecturer in Chemistry, Dr. BRR Government Degree College, Tircherla. So our topic is Bioinorganic Chemistry, BSc third year, 6th semester, paper 7. So here Bioinorganic Chemistry, introduction of Bioinorganic Chemistry is the study of role of inorganic materials or metal ions in the biological process is called as a bioinorganic chemistry. What is the definition? The study of role of inorganic materials, metal ions in the biological process is called as a bioinorganic chemistry. So many metal ions have get much important in various biochemical physiological process of living beings. Many metal ions having the get much more important in various biological process, so physiological process in living organisms. So for example, in plants the photosynthesis occurs in the presence of chlorophyll, so which contain the magnesium plus 2 ion is a central metal ion. So in the photosynthesis process occurs in the presence of chlorophyll. That chlorophyll contain the magnesium plus 2 ion as a central metal ion. This is the one example. Second one is the sodium and potassium ions play much more important role in the functioning of nerve systems. So one more example is hemoglobin contains Fe plus 2 ion. So it is important for oxygen transport from lungs to various part of the body. So in hemoglobin, so that contains the Fe plus 2 ion as a central metal ion. So it is the role of the hemoglobin in our system is the transporter or carrier of the oxygen from lungs to the various parts of the body. So these all are the biological, biochemical process in living organisms. In these biological functions, the central metal ions having the much more important role in these biological activities. So here calcium is important for the healthy bones and the teeth. Like this, many other inorganic materials play as important role in bioinorganic chemistry. Okay, so these are the some examples of the metal ions play a important role in the biological process in living organisms. See here the classification of these metal ions or inorganic materials. See here the living beings having two type of constituents. So one is the organic components, second one is the inorganic components. Here organic components and inorganic components. This is the inorganic components. So in organic components, for example, proteins and carbohydrates, these all are the organic components. It prepared by the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen as a main elements. In inorganic components, see your body contains at least 29 inorganic metal ions or inorganic components. These approximately 29 elements. These inorganic components again classified into two types. One is the essential elements and non-essential elements. Essential elements and non-essential elements here. So essential elements are 19, non-essential elements are the 10 approximately. So see here non-essential elements example for bromine, boron, silicon, arsenic, nickel, aluminum, lead, tin, vanadium, titan. These all are the example for the non-essential elements. See here essential elements. So essential elements again classified into two types. One is the macro elements and second one is the micro elements. Macro elements means they require more quantity. So for the biological activity is known as a macro elements. These are 12. Micro elements are known as a oligo elements or trace elements. These elements required very small quantity for biological activities. These micro elements are 7. So these are copper, zinc, cobalt, manganese, iodine, so iron, molybdenum. These all are required very small quantity for so biological activity in so living organisms or living beings. So these micro elements called as a trace elements also. Micro elements called as a trace elements. See macro elements are 12. These macro elements require the so more quantity for biological activity. So see here for example carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, chlorine. So these all are the example for the macro elements. See here so definition of essential elements. Definition of essential elements: the elements which are necessary in large or small quantity for life process are called essential elements. These essential elements are necessary in large or small quantity for the life process, for the continuing the life process. So these elements are so necessary. So these elements are called as a essential elements. Some of them are given have the given here their biological importance in the briefly explained. So see here essential elements of iron. So in this chapter we have give the brief functioning of essential elements or uses of essential elements in biological importance of essential elements in the so living beings. So these essential elements are iron, sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, zinc, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, calcium, chloride. These are the so essential elements. So next see the biological significance of these essential elements. See here first to take the so example of sodium, potassium and chloride. Sodium, potassium and chloride. So we have to see the so biological significance of these elements, sodium, potassium, chlorine elements. So see here so common salt is the major source of the sodium and chlorine. Common salt means so daily uses salt, sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is the major source of the sodium and chlorine. And again coffee, tea, cocoa, potatoes, dry beans, green leafy vegetables, bananas, milk, fish, chicken, etc. also source for the potassium. So potassium available all these items: coffee, tea, cocoa, potato, dry beans, greenly leafy vegetables, bananas, milk, fish, chicken, like that. So this the sodium and chloride available in the common salt. So like NaCl, sodium chloride. So absorption. See here the next absorption. Sodium, potassium and chlorine are the completely absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract. So this absorption, sodium, potassium and chlorine are completely absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract. Second point is the sodium, potassium are widely distributed in the plants as well as animals, as the salts, chloride salts, phosphate salts and carbonate salts of the inorganic and organic salts. Next point, sodium is the main extracellular cation. Sodium is the main extracellular cation. So potassium is the main intracellular cation. Sodium is the extracellular cation, potassium is the intracellular cation. So next point is the metabolism of sodium, potassium, chloride are intimately related to certain fundamental physiological mechanisms. So these we three take sodium, potassium and chloride take as the these three are the related functions. These three having the related functions. So we can study these three at a time. So the mechanism, the functions. So they play an important role in maintaining osmotic pressure both inside and outside the cells. They play an important role in maintaining osmotic pressure both inside and outside the cell. They involve in the transportation of the carbon dioxide from the parts of the body to the lungs. So they can involve the transport of carbon dioxide from the parts of body to the lungs. Next point, they are useful in maintaining the viscosity of the blood. So the sodium, potassium and chloride maintaining the viscosity of blood. So next function is they are involved in the nerve muscles activity. They involved in the nerve muscles activity. So next function is sodium and potassium salts with the corresponding weak acids form the chief buffer system. So these buffer play important role in the regularization of pH of various fluids. For example, sodium bicarbonate and sodium carbonate. So for the regularization of pH of the sodium bicarbonate and bicarbonate, these potassium and sodium plays an act as a buffer system. They maintain the stable buffer in the living organisms. Next one, the insertion of the digestive fluids. Gastric HCl is derived from NaCl of blood. This gastric HCl released in our stomach. This is derived from the sodium chloride of blood. Alkaline digestive juices such as pancreatic juice and the bile juice derived from the blood, sodium and potassium salts. This pancreatic juice and the bile juice derived from the blood by using sodium and potassium salts. See, next function is in the storage of glycogen. So potassium highly required during period of cell growth and the repair. This potassium highly required to cell growth and repair of the cells. So deposition of 1 gram of cell protein required 0.45 milli equivalents of potassium. Deposition of 1 gram of cell protein required 0.45 so milli equivalents of potassium. Next, storage of 1 milligram of glycogen requires 0.15 milli equivalent potassium in the intercellular fluids. Next point, when insulin is injected to diabetic patient, accelerates glycogenesis. At that time, potassium is not supplemented. It causes hypokalemia. So respiratory failures, headache, nausea and diarrhea, these are the symptoms of hypokalemia. So these hypokalemia caused by the deficient of potassium. So deficient of potassium. So these are the biological significance of sodium, potassium and chloride. These are the very important biological significance in the our living beings. So next one, the biological significance of iron, or importance of iron. See here the source of iron. So iron is available from leafy vegetable, milk, egg, liver, kidney, peas, beans, fish plume, etc. So these all are having the iron in high quantity. See here next point, iron is the essential constituent of hemoglobin. So we already know the hemoglobin is contain the Fe+2 ion, so as a central metal ion. So this hemoglobin carries oxygen from lungs to the tissues of the body. So what is the function of hemoglobin? Hemoglobin carries the oxygen from lungs to the tissues of the body. It is the acting as the carrier of the oxygen carrier. So next point, useful in storing of oxygen in the form of myoglobin. So this iron is useful in storing the oxygen in myoglobin in the form of myoglobin. Myoglobin acting as a oxygen storage point. Next point, they are involved in biological oxidation. So these iron involved in the biological oxidation. This iron means this hemoglobin and myoglobin are involved in the biological oxidation. Next point, they are useful in the development of red blood cells. This hemoglobin or myoglobin are useful in the development of red blood cells. So iron plays an important role in metabolic process. This iron is having very important role in metabolic process. So deficiency of iron leads to anemia. So anemia is one disease. This anemia leads to the deficiency of iron or deficiency of hemoglobin. See here in the normal diet, amount of iron varies from 15 to 20 milligram per day, which is sufficient in almost all cases. In the normal diet, we should maintain the 15 to 20 milligrams of iron per day, which is sufficient in the almost all cases. Next point, a healthy adult contains about 3.5 to 4 grams of iron per kg. See here, about 45 milligrams per kg. So 3.5 to 4 grams means so approximately about 45 milligrams per kg body weight. So for kg body weight, so requires 45 milligrams of iron. So daily for healthy body. So these are the biological significance of iron. So it is very important in exam point of view. So iron is available in leafy vegetables, milk, egg, liver, kidney, peas, beans, fish phlegm. So iron is the essential constituent of the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin mainly contain the iron in the form of Fe+2. So in that iron, Fe+2 is in paramagnetic nature. So this hemoglobin carries the oxygen from lungs to the tissues of the body. So these iron stored in the oxygen in myoglobin. So these hemoglobin and myoglobin are involved in biological oxidation in so many biological oxidation reductions functions are going in our body. So in that biological oxidation, this iron and this hemoglobin and myoglobin are involved in the biological oxidation. So they are useful in the development of red blood cells, RBC, red blood cells. For the producing red blood cells, iron is very important. Next point, iron plays as important role in metabiological process. Its deficiency leads to anemia. So the deficiency of iron or deficiency of hemoglobin leads to the anemia. Anemia is one disease. So next, in the normal diet amount, iron varies from 15 to 20 milligram per day, which is sufficient in almost all cases. A healthy adult contains about 3.5 to 4 grams of iron. So that means about 45 milligram per kg body weight. So this is the biological significance of iron. This is very important in exam point of view. So like that is sodium, potassium and chloride. So these also important functions in biological process. So this is the classification are very important. So these living beings having the two type constituents. So one are organic components, inorganic components. In these organic compounds in our body, organic compounds contain 90% organic compounds. So in our body contain the 90% organic compounds, only 10% inorganic compounds. So but the 10% inorganic compounds play a very key role for the biological activities. These are the inorganic compounds, means these proteins, carbohydrates. So without protein, carbohydrates, so our living organisms, living beings does not work. So inorganic components, body contain at least 29 elements. These Inorganic elements again classified into two types: essential elements, non-essential elements. These essential elements again two types: macro elements and micro elements. These macro means requires the more quantity. For example, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, chloride, like that. Micro elements means, so these micro elements known as the oligo elements or trace elements. They require very small quantity for biological activity: copper, zinc, cobalt, manganese, iodine, fluorine, so molybdenum. So these all are the elements which are necessary in large or small quantity for life process are called as a essential elements. So in this chapter we have discussed the following essential elements: iron, sodium, potassium, magnesium, copper, zinc, chromium, manganese, cobalt, nickel, calcium and chlorides. So okay.